Hi pals, it's me Artie, they them pronouns only. What do I normally say at the beginning of these videos? I don't know. Either way, I forgot to mention this in the other video, but I love my huge, chunky and very heavy necklace that my friend Lisa bought me for my birthday. It was literally the only thing I asked for, really. The gaps are maybe slightly too small. Oh, okay, no, I can definitely shorten it a little bit. Let's try. Okay, I've shortened it slightly. And that's about slay. Hello. Anyway, sorry for the distraction. This week, I wanted to tell you all about the Takayasu specialist appointment I went to again. This is something that I kind of seem to be doing at least once a year. My lower back is killing me. This one was a little bit earlier than last year. And weirdly, my one for next year is even earlier. It's booked for like the end of August. I don't know why they keep doing that. If they're only seeing me once a year, I don't know. It would make sense to keep the people doing the same dates, I get, you know? Like, I literally was there on the 1st of October this year, and I was like, I don't have the will to change this date to not be on my birthday week, because that's the original date they gave me the first time round was in my birthday week as well, and I was like, no, please don't. But also I was away that year, so this year I wasn't away on the week of my birthday because I actually wanted to be sociable. Again, I'm going off on a tangent. The registrar, I think she was a registrar that I saw last year. I didn't see her this year because, I mean, when we saw her last year, she was maybe a few months off of giving birth. So she's on maternity leave now. She was very nice, but we had somebody else this year. I don't know how I felt, I'm not gonna lie. She was fine. However, I think it's very interesting that no one wants to wear a mask, and the only person who says it or suggests it is the head of the department, Dr. Youngstein? I always forget how to pronounce her last name. But she's always the one that asks and puts it on and then tells whoever else was in the room to put one on. Also, she did not have it on her face properly when this lady asked her to do it. It was like, it was a surgical mask that she didn't even pinch on her nose properly. I'm like, my guy, come on. At least put the f***ing surgical mask on properly. And also, we've just had a massive COVID wave and we're about to enter another one as we go into winter. It's not hard. It's not hard. So yeah, she also didn't really do much. Even like the usual checkups I have on my body, she didn't really do in the same way as my local rheumatologist or the lady last year. Didn't check my medications list either. Only checked my wrists for a pulse and my chest and back, when most other doctors have checked more than that and usually do. She's, yeah, I just sort of said nothing's really changed, but generally feel better since sorting out my whole mercaptopurine meds problem. I'm now on azathioprine, and it's not affecting my ALT levels, which is a liver related level, in the way that that medication was last year. And now I don't have to deal with the whole absolute ridiculous faff of trying to take allopurinol every day. And then, yeah, generally most of my tests have been fine. Nobody's ringing me with like, oh my god, you're going to die, you need to go to hospital vibes. They did ask me about my steroid tapering schedule, and I said that we don't really have one because I go down as small a dose as possible, and just try to listen to my body, cut my pills into quarters to make the drops smaller, blah blah blah. You know, go watch the I'm tapering steroids video for that. And again, they want another MRA, which is expected. I explained that's fine, but I wouldn't be getting it at their hospital because of how poorly treated I was last year. Also a video. And they were all like, what? What do you mean? I'm so sorry. And I had to basically try to relay a bunch of what happened, when I definitely sent an email maybe a week or even the day after that happened to be like, I'm not going there again because I was treated so badly. So if you want these tests done regularly, you're going to have to sort something out with my local hospital. Because, like, I'm not doing that again. Like, 2 hours journey to just be mocked, treated badly, and kind of low-key assaulted again. So, no, thank you. Yeah, they just seemed really shocked. And I was just like, I don't know why you're shocked. I literally did tell you guys, like, soon after it happened, I wasn't coming back here for that. I think they also said something like, did you tell us about this? Or, like, something like that too. And I was like, yeah. Girlies, I emailed you. And yeah, the rheumatology secretaries and stuff said that it was all being looked into, so I think somebody is lying. They also want more blood tests doing, so I was just like, well, let me know what they are. She said today, so I was like, no, I'm not doing that now. I have one coming up soon, later in the month, that if you want anything adding to, I can do that. And they basically said that was fine, but then actually it's not been so fine. Like, for one, after the appointment, I was talking to them by email and they were like, we don't do blood forms. And I was like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to get this, get a blood test if you don't have a blood form for me to take? So I was like, okay, well, can you tell me what you want doing? And I can ask my local rheumatologist to do it, please. So that was a bit of faffing around again as well. Things that I shouldn't be fucking doing as the patient. Things that should just be handled like with everybody else. However, as well, they did say that they were not, like my local rheumatology team, were not doing as good of a job as they should be about updating that team with my regular blood test results. So I also had to go and get all of my CRP and ESR blood test level results, write them down and email them after the appointment, because why do hospitals not have Wi-Fi or like data? That's the middle of fucking London, and I couldn't even use my 4G to log into my healthcare system thing to be able to give them the answers that they don't have. Also, the only possible good thing coming from this fucking government is they plan to have an integrated nationwide NHS digital file system. Fucking finally. I've had enough. But knowing this shit, they'll either not bother or they'll leave it for the next 5, 10 or more years. So do me a solid and email your local MP and tell them that that's what you want, please.
However, please don't forget to let them know that you don't want AI involved anywhere. Thank you.
Because I've had enough. It's just a bullshit, really. So yeah, either way, the head doctor, Dr. Youngstein, came in and we had a chat. She did say that the MRA could be done elsewhere, but had to be like a good quality image, and was just making it more complicated than I needed to be told. Like, sorry, you can go and talk to the other people about that, please, because like I don't know what you want or what you're looking for, and you've not sent me home with information about this. I said that the first MRA that I had, that they should also have a copy of, because they should have a copy of it. But the first one was done at my local hospital, so I was like, if that's good enough quality to you, then there's no problem. They just need to let my rheumatologist know. However, that was the beginning of October, and I'm filming this on the 27th, which it'll probably be out later than this coming week as well. I haven't even had my appointment letter, like post-appointment letter from the London team yet, so I don't know. I don't think my local hospital will have had that letter either, which will be telling them what needs to be booked for the MRA, which needs to be done again in January. We don't have a lot of time to do that, babes, so might have to also chase that, or hold on, if all of this PA stuff is sorted, get one of them to do it, please. Had enough.
The PA stuff is not yet sorted. However, I did have to chase this myself, and yeah, I still don't have that letter, but they were able to send me a PDF copy, which, for one, said that it basically insinuated that I currently have coronary heart disease. So I did flag this to the receptionist or secretary who sent me the letter, and I have yet to receive a response on that, because that was about the coming off steroids conversation, that coming off them ASAP, as long as you're, not flaring, is helpful in lowering your chances of developing coronary heart disease or whatever. Not that I currently have it, so I don't know. I don't know why it says that, and I basically just had to flag them like, yeah, you're going to need to follow up on the MRA with my local rheumatology team, because I also don't have a letter for that, and I've had some of my MRI letters months in advance. So yeah, I don't think anyone's done that. Thanks.
But yeah, either way, there's that issue generally. They did also say that this MRA could possibly be the last one I do like yearly, because they tend to do yearly for new patients on their team and newly diagnosed patients generally, to, monitor, see what their stability is like, blah, blah, blah. They are concerned about my CRP levels, generally inflammation levels, because if they start creeping up, that's usually a sign like Takayasus is Takayasusing, and medications will need changing. So that's then the other thing too, is if medications are being changed a lot, that's also why they do yearly MRAs as well. So that if my blood tests are good, which is its own issue anyway as it is, if the blood tests are fine, then I probably, won't need to change my dose of azathioprine or anything, and can probably then have this one in January and not have one for a couple of years. However, right now, I had an appointment booked for my blood test, and reasons why healthcare professionals should really be wearing a mask in work is because she's off sick and I've been booked in with some random person, and we know from many of my videos talking about blood tests, cannulation, people are useless and are not very good at cannulating my poor little deep tiny veins. So I currently still don't actually know if I've got a blood test booked in, because I'm not just going to go and see somebody else I don't know right now. I'm too exhausted with the steroid withdrawal, to be honest, to be dealing with somebody new right now. So I have to go deal with that tomorrow. So excited for me. Yay! Anyway, so yeah, hopefully if I haven't needed to change my meds, my blood tests are looking fine, I'm not having a flare up, etc., and my slow tapering off of steroids is still okay, I can move on to getting the MRAs done every 2 years instead of yearly, which would be lovely. Be lovely.
I am glad to be able to inform you I did get to have a blood test. I changed my appointment to a nurse instead, because both the phlebotomist I was booked in with was off sick, but also the other phlebotomist I think is just away. So yeah, I went with a nurse and got my blood tests done, and the results were good. So yay.
Besides that, we were also talking again about the tapering of steroids. Usually, we all know the longer you're on them, blah, 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 greater risk of future illnesses like heart disease. And also just generally, the lower I can get my dose, even if I'm still on it, the better. And the more it will lower my risk of those sorts of things in the future. Obviously, ideal to get off them completely, but if not, it's not the end of the world. And yeah, like in my recent steroid withdrawal tapering video, I went through sort of the processes, blah, blah, blah. Longer you're on it, harder it is to get off, because it's a hormone medication and your body basically stops producing that hormone whilst you're on it, and trying to get off that medication is waiting to see if your body will actually start making cortisol and stuff again. And however, this is where I learned about the 3 milligrams of steroids is what your body apparently makes daily anyway. So if I can't get off steroids fully, it would be ideal to get down to 3 milligrams at least, because that is just apparently what, like, the amount of cortisol our bodies make daily anyway. And then, yeah, she's always like, she has a really good bedside manner, Dr. Youngstein, because when we were talking about the steroids, again, I think I talked about it in that video anyway as well, but like as we were talking about it, she was like, you know, trying to go from 4 to 3 is still a really big drop from what you're on, and you will be feeling it even if it doesn't seem like a big amount. And yeah, like I asked if she could tell my local rheumatologist that, because trying to explain to her that it doesn't matter how small she thinks 1 milligram is, my body thinks it's huge, because I've been on them for 4.5 years. 4.5 years, man, because I've been trying not to, you know? But also she was telling me that apparently a lot of Sussex rheumatology doctors are interested in updating their education basically on Takayasus and learning more about vasculitis and Takayasu specifically. So they're going to have more of the local Sussex rheumatology sort of doctors, possibly others, I don't really know, up there for like clinic days and stuff, either, I don't know, watching or what, but like that was nice to know that they will be having some of the local doctors around up there to continue learning more about a condition that I have that nobody seems to know shit about. And as well, like, this kind of conversation came as well from me saying to them that my local rheumatologist will be retiring soon, so I may need more of their like intervention and advice for whoever I see next, because the issue I think currently, as far as I know at the moment, is I think there is currently 3 consultant rheumatologists at my local hospital with an open, empty role that they're still trying to fill. And when my doctor goes, there'll be only 2 doctors left. One of them is the one. One of them is the one who brushed off my arm pain as being hypermobility and because I'm fat, when in fact, you guessed it, it was Takayasus. Also, apparently her name is not on the list of doctors to learn more about Takayasus, which is funny considering she really could do with learning more about that. So my local rheumatologist knows about that history with that one, so she has arranged that afterwards I would see the other person. However, she, I think it's a woman, I don't know, I've not met her, I think it's a woman. She already obviously has her own workload as it is, and they're already down 1 doctor, so it is likely she will probably be a temporary doctor until these other 2 positions are filled in, unless they're like one of them is filled in before my doctor retires, because then I guess I might just be put straight on to one of the new consultants lists instead. But I don't know, we'll see. But that's what I was sort of saying to the specialist Takayasus team, is that, you know, I know that my local rheumatologist knows a bit more than most rheumatologists generally, but obviously she doesn't know as much as the specialist team, and generally the specialist team's support with these new doctors would be really helpful. So either I may be contacting them more, or I may be encouraging them to contact the specialist team more often anyway. And I mean, clearly Clearly she's not doing that anyway because the blood test results are never getting to them, even though she has a secretary, which is kind of what secretaries are supposed to do, is it not? I don't know. But that's also where the universal digital file NHS system for patients would solve this problem, because they would just have access to that shit, you know? Would be nice. But yeah, generally, I knew that my CRP had been, for the most part, fine. Maybe it had been a little bit high, maybe once or twice, like slightly out of range in this last year, but I don't think generally it's been high or showing any kind of trend of creeping up. And yeah, when I did find the results, yeah, I was correct. It was, I think there was one result that was slightly out of range, and it was only once, and then the next blood test I had, it was back in range. They say ideally they would want it to be as low as possible and nowhere near being out of range, but also like until I'm actually tapering steroids again, like right now, like I'm fine, like I feel fine, but like it's the actual tapering of the steroids that really fucks me up. So I am a bit nervous about what my next results are going to say, because my body hurts so much. And also, like, I was supposed to be getting my blood test before then getting a couple of little tattoos, and obviously tattoos are going to cause a bit of inflammation. So like now I don't know whether I should postpone it a week or something, but I need the results. I need to get the blood test done as well for my gastro. Because I speak to him on the 11th of November, so like I'm fact. I did also tell her that the specialist that I will be seeing, an autonomic specialist, I thought it was the week after. I didn't realise it said 2025, not 2024. So the consultant appointment is not until next year's October. However, I do have at least 2 tests booked in for that. But yeah, I was talking to her about that, and I was saying that I was nervous because one of the tests I saw was in the cath lab, which generally anything involving my veins makes me nervous, but especially now I'm under a Takayasus team, and they have explicitly told me and encouraged me that if I need any kind of like surgery on my veins or my arteries, I need to see them. Even if it's not necessarily Takayasus related, I need to see them, because it's my veins and my arteries and we don't know what might happen. So I was anxious about the idea of, even though they are obviously their own specialist team anyway, I was nervous about the idea of having somebody who isn't in my Takayasu specialist team rooting around all my veins for like a test or whatever. But she did say it was, they use cath labs for tilt tables and other things like that, and I did find out that actually that test is going to be an active stand test. So basically a tilt table, just without the tilt table. I was like, oh, okay, I'm chill now, it's fine. But I was anxious about that as a thing. She has a few other Takayasu's patients that also see him specifically. And then she also, again, was very validating about the fact of me trying to taper off steroids is probably also making those autonomic symptoms worse. And I was like, it is. My head always hurts. I'm even more dizzy, and I'm even more weak and pain, like, and faint and tired and blah blah blah. But also it was really nice as well, because it's like, I know that. But again, most doctors don't, and they just kind of blame everything on me being on or trying to come off steroids, rather than the steroids or coming off steroids making other conditions I have worse. Like, please, babes, read a book. Read a book. Like, if only I swear to God, please just put me in charge. That's one of the things I saw in the, I think the NHS consultation, is one person just said, just put me in charge. I'm looking for work. Put me in charge. I'll fix all the problems. Except I genuinely believe I could fix the problems, because I know what the problems are, and it ain't just NHS bullshit, it's the government as well. It's also the culture within the NHS of covering things up. That's my opinion. But it has been reported on, but it is my opinion. Allegedly. Especially locally, allegedly. And yeah, she also said that she thinks I'm in good hands going to that team and seeing that particular doctor. And yeah, I think that's basically the gist of it all for the most part. I am tired. Surprise. So yeah, I'm just going to go now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch my videos, share my videos. The watch time really helps as I'm still working my way up to partner. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. And if I do, I'm sure I'll add it in editing. So I will see you next week. Bye.